question is, what is going on with these Carnival vessels? So in the next 10 minutes, we're going to be joined by maritime lawyer Jack Hickey. We're going to get his perspective on all of these cases. Back to one of our top stories now. 2 Carnival cruise ships having technical problems this morning.
Let's be clear, this is nothing like the troubles the Carnival Triumph suffered last month after it lost power, had to be towed back to port with passengers enduring, remember, nightmarish conditions. With me now from Miami, maritime lawyer Jack Hickey, who specializes in cruise line liability. And Jack, my goodness, I mean, neither of these are quite as worse as, you know, that ship that sort of limped into port, right? I was down in Mobile. It was pretty tough talking to those passengers. But bottom line, what does this do to Carnival's image? I mean, can they recover?
Well, you know, those are really 2 different questions, I think. Can they recover in regard to the Dream? I think the answer is no. You know, I said something different in regard to the Carnival Triumph because you have to have 2 things under the ticket, right? You have to have negligence, plus you have to have either physical injury or an exposure to actual physical injury. So we don't really, with regard to the Dream, it's really not the exposure to the actual physical injury like we saw on the Triumph. The Triumph, the people were exposed to days and days of raw sewage in the hallways, etc. Here we have horrible conditions. Here we do have the suction toilets backing up once again, but apparently not over the entire ship.
This has got to be getting pretty expensive for Carnival, though. They're flying all the people home from St. Martin right now. They're canceling the next cruise on this vessel, and they've got to reimburse all those people. At what point did this become a real dollars and cents problem?
Right. Now, that's a very interesting thing, what's happening here, because contrast this with the Triumph. Isn't this what they should have done with regard to the Triumph? They could have gotten everybody off from the Triumph. They could have gotten everybody off in Cozumel or Progreso, Mexico, and flown them back. But they took a risk, and they said, well, we'll just have everybody stay on. We'll save some money flying them back. We'll have everybody stay on. And then they realized, whoa, you know, everybody's covering this. I mean, frankly, I think that's what happened. And so, yeah, I think you have to contrast this whole situation because it really is comparable, isn't it? I mean, you have generator failure here, and industry insiders have told me that so much of it has to do with poor maintenance procedures.
But Jack, despite the pictures, despite the stories, it's like, you know, you talk to people who are cruisers and they cruise no matter what's happening. It seems like you think the industry is pretty resilient.
The industry is pretty resilient. I'm not, you know, I'm not here to say it's a bad product. It can be a very good product, and it can be a good value, you know, for the money. But it's just that there's such a lack of transparency here throughout the industry in regard to, okay, what's really wrong? I mean, really, Carnival has not come out and said much about the Triumph, have they? But you're right that the industry is pretty resilient. I think people are still going to cruise, although we are getting a lot of inquiries, and we're seeing on the internet a lot of people saying, look, you know, I wanted to cancel my next Carnival cruise and they won't give me back my money, etc. So there is some at least immediate fallout with regard to Carnival.
All right, Jack Hickey, a maritime lawyer, suddenly a very busy man. Our thanks to you.
Thanks, Jack.